Hey guys! Today, during Social Studies History, we are discussing heroes and community heroes. Here are some of the materials you will need. You will need things to color with, scissors and glue, a pencil. You will need these two papers, and you will need this journal for your science and social studies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my video so that I can open up my journal to the next available page and begin and get us started. Okay, so here you can see that I have my journal open and I have my pages at the ready. I'm going to get out a crayon to make a force field with. You should do the same thing. My first force field line goes across the middle of the page. There is a long horizontal line through the middle. Please make that line first, and please cut along that line with me. Step one. Okay, step two, I'm going to put E down, and I'm going to put the H paper in front of me. I'm going to get a little bit closer. Maybe a little bit closer. Okay. All right. So on H here, there is some instructions written sideways over here. It says cut along this dotted line. I'd like you to trace over that dotted line. It's right there, right next to the letter H. And then we're actually going to leave this alone. I know it says staple. We're not using staples today. So after you've drawn that line, please cut it out. All right. Now this one we can actually put off to the side. We don't need this. We have H. I'm going to put H over here. And here's E. So you can see here they want you to draw a force field on this dotted line, top to bottom, and then cut on that dotted line as well. And we don't need this paper, so that can go off to the side. And E is done, and we'll put that off there. Now we have second paper. I'm going to go a little bit further out again. And we're going to do that first cut that we did, or that first line first, where we draw a line down the middle. Okay. Then we cut along that line. Okay, I put O on down below for a moment. We're going to work with this R paper. You can see the dotted line is over here. Please trace the dotted line. Please cut on that dotted line. We don't need this. Here we have our R paper done. And here is O, and we're just going to leave it. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to make one little trim over here next to the letter O. So I'm going to draw myself a force field. There we go. Okay, we don't need this. All right, next step. We're going to glue the letter O paper. Trying to make it a little brighter. Hold on one second. All right, that's a little better. All right, we're going to glue the O paper flat to our book. You'll notice that I opened my book and I turned it sideways and I put the metal rings, spiral, at the top. This goes right here. I actually left some space over here on the left. Then the letter R, so I'm going to put glue along this line. And I'm going to glue the letter R paper. I'm going to place glue on that same space, and the letter E, and then glue again, letter H. All right, and what does that spell? H-E-R-O, Hero! You gotcha! We are doing a hero assignment today. All right. So what I've done is I created what we would have done in the classroom, but I created it as part of a Google Slides presentation. Oh, I actually don't want that. I'm going to need to move my face. You guys are seeing all the inner workings of the video. Okay, I'll get rid of this. All right. So I'm going to put this on the website so you can view this without the video. And what this video is going to do is help us to make all the choices that we need. So we will get a chance to color in the HERO, which is located here. But we'll do that last. For right now, we're actually going to start here in the E page. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trace the letters hero. We are going to be making an acrostic poem. An acrostic poem means it's a little bit like it's not really like a regular poem because it doesn't necessarily have to rhyme. An acrostic poem takes the first letter and the subsequent letters of one word. Then what we do is we describe that word using words that begin with these letters. So our themed word is hero, and we need to think of an H word that describes a hero, an E word that describes a hero, an R word, and an O word. So usually what Mrs. Smith would do is on the big bulletin board, we would all brainstorm together. But unfortunately, I can't hear you today. Oh, the baby is, she's talking. I can't hear you today, but I did some brainstorming beforehand and I made this for you so that you can have some ideas. So, be a superhero. Can you name a community hero? Well, firstly, what is a hero? It is a person who is brave, good, and often looked up to by others. So, what is a community hero? A community hero is a person who offers their courage, strength, and self-sacrifice in the service of a neighborhood. Their work benefits people who may never know them by name. That means it's a person who has courage and strength. Self-sacrifice means that they work for the benefit of others, not necessarily themselves, in the service of a neighborhood or a community. Their work benefits us, and we may never know their name or the actual heroic deeds that they did. Here are some hero words. So here I have a listing of H words, E words, R words, and O words. You can choose any of these words to write down. I'm going to read them to you now. If you want to fast forward, you don't have to listen to me read them, but honorable, honest, helpful and healthy, harmonious or peaceful, humble, someone who doesn't brag, heroic, healing, holy, and hardworking. E, energetic, lots of energy, excellent, essential, which means we need them, empowering, they help others. They're equable, which means that they treat everyone fairly. They're erudite. They're esteemed, which means that they are respected, and they are ethical. They use fairness in the way that they handle things. Some R words, they are real, they are ready, reliable, righteous, definitely towards the right. Rational, which means they make choices that are reasonable as well. So someone who's rational and reasonable is someone who's not going to make choices just for what benefits them, but they're going to look at everything and decide what benefits everyone. Resilient, so even if there's trouble, they keep going. And renowned, which means that they are well known. And here we have O, we have organized, optimistic, someone who's always positive, outstanding, open-hearted, orderly, very organized, another word is orderly. They are originals, no one else quite like them, outgoing, they like to try new things, and objective, they look at things from different point of view. So I'd like you to pause me right now and to choose an H word, an E word, an R word, and an O word. Mrs. Smith, can I choose a word that's not up there? The answer is yes. But I don't want to see, for instance, I don't want to see rabbit for letter R, because rabbit does not describe a hero. So it has to fit the parameters. And if you get stuck, just use one of mine. I'm going to pause my video now, and then magically you're going to be able to see my completed poem, just like yours. Okay, magically, here's my poem. Heroes are honorable, essential, responsible, and organized. So I'm going to turn the page. So here's the tricky part. It says to draw your hero. So if we go back to what I made, I have the next couple slides are all heroes you can choose. So let's say you want to do nurse, doctor, veterinarians, someone who does surgery, which is called a surgeon. Oh, Mrs. Smith. Okay. Also, I have all different elements of soldiers: Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marines. Also, firefighters and police officers. So those are the ones that I chose. So you should choose which one you want now, and you're going to draw that hero in this box. I'm going to pause and draw my hero, and I'll see you back in a moment. Okay, so here is Mrs. Smith's hero, firefighter, and I hope you drew yours and gave it some color. Now we have some sentences about our hero. So the first sentence, my hero is A. So you have to write down which hero you chose. I chose a firefighter. That's what I'm going to write down. You can use my slides presentation to find out how to spell your hero. Now, here's something else that the presentation will give you. When you decide who you're going to do, each one of these people, let's make it a tiny bit bigger, each one of these people on the slides comes with answers to the questions for the paper. So for instance, the first question on the paper is my hero is A, so you have to write down, let's say you chose nurse, so you would write down nurse. Then the next question is he or she wears, and you can see here that I have what nurses and doctors wear. So they can wear scrubs, oh, of course. They can wear scrubs, white coats, stethoscope, a mask, or even regular clothes. So you could write down a complete sentence on what your hero wears. Now, Mrs. Smith's hero is a firefighter for today, so I'm going to describe what he or she wears. So I'm going to close this, make it a little smaller. Take out this one. He or she wears, and I remember from the presentation, they wear turnout clothes. Turnout clothes are fire retardant or fireproof, hopefully, so that they can go and they can withstand being in a building where they have to be where there's fire. So turnout clothes and they have reflective patches. And they do that so they can see each other and we can see them. And they also wear fire hats. I don't know about you guys, but I have a pretend fire hat from when I visited a fire station. Do you? Okay. So then the next question, so you have to write down what he or she wears as part of their clothing for the community hero. So you could go back to the slides and find the hero that you chose and then figure out what some of the ideas that I wrote down. Also, you're going to write down who they protect, and that's part of this. No, not that. You guys have seen that before. It's here. That's part of this as well. It describes who they protect. Men, women, children, animals, and everyone. And then the job is dangerous because, and again on here you can see that I wrote down why this job could be dangerous. I want to make that bold. And here's the protects. It's dangerous because you could get hurt. And for instance, with soldiers, they are away from their families for a long time. And then the last one, I'm really curious what you say. The sentence is, I pray that God will blank. So you need to write down your own sentence. What do you pray that God will do with our community heroes? So once that you've completed each of your sentences and filled them in, then you can go back and decorate your word hero. So I'm going to decorate my word hero now, and before I end the video in just a snap, you're going to see mine all decorated, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. And here's my completed drawing for our community heroes.